bought a journal, but now what do I write in it? I just don't get all this hype about journaling. Like, what does journaling even do for you anyway? I like the idea of journaling, but I don't want anybody to ever read what I wrote. That would be so embarrassing. Hi there. I'm Elsa Borsa, life coach and joy advocate for women who want to feel more confident, joyful, and connected in their everyday lives. Thanks for stopping by today. Today is day 1 of my 7-day journaling series. Today we're going to talk about journaling and how you can get started. So some of the things I hear the most when people are thinking about getting started journaling is that they bought a journal and they've sat down even, but they just don't know what to write in it. Some people feel like their writing has to be at a certain skill level. Other people think that they would like to write, but they're really worried that other people might see what they wrote and that would be really embarrassing and uncomfortable. I even know people who don't want to read what they wrote themselves. Some people think you have to have the perfect pen or the perfect space or the perfect everything. And the truth is that getting started journaling is really easy and it can do so much for you. So some of the things that journaling has done for me in my life is it's given me a lot of clarity. It's given me clarity into who I am as a person, things that are really on my mind, things that I maybe desire that I didn't know I desired, or it's even given me clarity as far as identifying things that I thought were important to me, but maybe weren't as important to me as I thought. Another thing journaling has done for me is it's helped me develop my confidence. I used to be really self-conscious, and I went through a really hard time where I had a very low self-worth, actually for a number of years. And what journaling has done for me is it has helped me to discover more things about myself. I've used it as a tool to really get to know myself better, and as I've done that, as I've learned more parts of myself, I've been able to be more accepting about certain parts of myself. Things that maybe I saw before as flaws or things that I had never really thought about, I was able to be more accepting of. And as you are able to be more accepting of yourself, then you become more confident naturally. Most recently, the most powerful thing that journaling is doing for me is it's allowing some important time for connection. And what I mean by connection is it's allowing time for me to really connect with myself. I'm not always great at meditating consistently or taking quiet time, as many busy moms aren't. But what journaling does for me is it allows me that time to just put pen to paper. It allows me to quiet my mind, and I just start writing. This is what I'm going to teach you this week, is how you can really start journaling to connect with yourself and to really start to see yourself and to give yourself that time that you might not be good at taking in another way. So I've talked about some misperceptions. I've talked about things that journaling can do for you. And now what I'd like to do is tell you 5 ways to get started with journaling. Number 1. Find something that feels really good to write in. This is what my current journal looks like. It's not fancy, although it is really pretty. And you can see I've got quite a bit written in it already. But what I like the most about this journal is the paper. It's really smooth and it feels so nice to write on. So that might be something that you've never thought about, but let me tell you, when you're getting into a habit of doing something like this, something kind of textural like that engages your sense of touch, can actually really enrich the experience. Number 2 is finding a pen that feels good to write with. So this doesn't have to be fancy, and neither does your journal. Your journal could be a scribbler or whatever you want it to be, really. It can be as simple as you want or as fancy as you want. And the same goes with the pen. You can go through your pile of free hotel pens that you have in your house, or you can go to a stationery store and try out some different pens and see what feels best to you. But what's important is that you're going to be writing with something that feels nice to write. And again, it adds to the sensory experience of the journaling and makes it more fulfilling. I've actually been known to get rid of journals or paper that just doesn't doesn't feel nice to write on, or pens that, gloop out chunks of ink or don't really write smoothly or the way I like. And my writing's kind of messy, so only certain kinds of pens work for me to be able to write neatly. I have to be able to hold it properly, otherwise my writing is all kind of a mess, which again, it's your journal. It doesn't really matter what your writing looks like, but I do like when I can read my own writing. Number 3, think about why it's appealing for you to start journaling. Is there a specific reason that you've wanted to start journaling? Do you have a specific intention with learning to journal? Or is it more just a matter of that you're curious about it and wonder if it might work for you and it might be something that you enjoy? Number 4, let go of any previous expectations that you might have had about journaling. Any of the things I mentioned before, or anything that you feel like is holding you back, whether it be a fear or a misperception about an inadequacy you might have about your writing or your ability to write or create or any of those things, just try and let that stuff go and be open to what this experience might do for you. You might discover, after you've let go of some of your inhibitions, you might discover that you really love journaling. And you also might discover that it's really not your thing, and that, maybe meditation or prayer or something completely different is a way that suits you better to connect with yourself and achieve some clarity and confidence. And that's fine too. The idea is just try it and see what it does for you. See how you feel, and let me tell you, whether you like it or you hate it, I'm really, really proud of you for giving it a try. Finally, number 5 is to just get started. Just pick up the pen, pick up the paper, and just get started. In the last point, I talked about letting go of some inhibitions, and that is key. Just get started. Just don't worry about how it looks or what it sounds like or what it even says. Just get started. I'm going to go through and give you some ideas as we go throughout the week, but I want you to know that these food for thought questions that I give you are not required. There's no rules. There aren't going to be rules that you have to follow each day for 7 days. All I want is for you to be able to sit down and put pen to paper. So the food for thought questions that I give you, you absolutely can use as journaling prompts, but they're not required. The idea is that they get you to think maybe from a different perspective and think about how you're feeling, and then just kind of guide you to start putting down your thoughts on paper. So today's food for thought are questions that I already asked you, and they are, why is journaling appealing to me? And what do I hope to gain from this experience? Now, let's run over the 5 steps to getting started. First of all, find something that feels good to write in. It can be a scribbler notebook, a fancy journal, anything you want, just something that feels good to write in. Number 2, find something that feels good to write with. I know before I said to find a pen that feels good to write with, but if you prefer to write in pencil or Sharpie or some other kind of fancy pen or calligraphy pen or whatever, that's what's important, having something that feels good to write with. Number 3, think about what your intention is for wanting to journal. Why is it important to you, and what do you hope to gain from it? Number 4, let go of your previous expectations about journaling or any inhibitions that you might have. Number 5, just get started. It's that easy. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope I've inspired you to pull out your journal and your favorite pen and to get started writing. Let me know in the comments below. Do you journal? If so, why do you journal? And if you don't journal already, what's been stopping you? I'm really curious to know, and I'm really excited to guide you through this journey in the next 7 days. Also, in the description box, you can find the link to a checklist and guide from today's video for you to print off. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit the like button down below and hit the subscribe button so you get notified whenever I release a new video. And just a hint, the next video is going to be released tomorrow, so hit that subscribe button so you get notified as soon as it's out. Stay tuned tomorrow morning for video number 2 of this journaling series, where we're going to dive into how to journal for self-discovery and how to use journaling as a tool to tap into your intuition. I'm super excited because this is what I'm all about, teaching women to tap into what they know inside. Thanks again for being here today, and I'll see you tomorrow.